This is topical issue once more, and the topic is gender quagmire. This is a topic that has been least discussed, but it poses a big threat for the future and presently. We had set gender types, for example, female gender, and their roles and description. Male gender and their roles and description. We did not set rules for hermaphrodites. We didn't have that, which was a problem to them because they didn't know where to fit. It would move with what developed more than the other, and also there was rejection from the community. We knew that one was born male or female. The men were to go hunting. Later, they were the ones who were working. Like in Kenya until around mid-70s, women were not even being given an identification card. You would, even if you are working, you would use your father's ID card or your husband's ID card. In case of transacting anything, you either had to go with your father or you go with your husband if you have marriageable age. It was within that time that women were given identification cards for the first time. And then there was this issue of girl-child empowerment, which is a very good thing. The girls now got equal status with the boys. And because many of them were hungry for education, many of them excelled. Now, the working positions, the first lot have gotten into the working position. They earn more salaries. They hold bigger positions. They have more rights. But it has brought a quagmire to the African man. We African men. In Europe, it started earlier. They have adjusted. So the situation is, you can't describe gender by work. You can't describe gender roles because things changed. The work you do is the same. I remember when I was still a young boy, it's not a long time ago, there were no women bus drivers, no women truck drivers. It's not very, very long time ago. It was this kind of... So there was a girl from National Youth Service, and she learned driving, and she would carry people in Nairobi. We were eager. We wanted to be carried by a girl, a woman driving a bus. Imagine. Everybody would look at her in wonder. It was a strange thing for a woman to drive a bus. So things have changed quickly. Now we can't say that these are jobs for women and men. They're all in the army. They're all in the police. They all drive buses. Everything that a man does, a woman does. So there is that confusion because the men feel they have lost the status of being the providers. But the women have gotten the empowerment of also being the providers. So it depends on who is the bigger hunter. Because if one is, let's say, a director in a company and one is a common worker, then if the woman is the director, she's the bigger hunter. And the family will feel it when she's out of duty. So those ones have happened, and the Kenyan population, men and women, we are learning to adjust. There's no problem. There has been an influx of things that were not that much known in Africa. An attraction between similar sexes. A man is attracted to a man and they have a relationship. In Kenya, they are not openly marrying. They hide. Especially men and men, or women and women, you can't know. It is a hidden relationship. In Europe, they marry. There was a time even when a Kenyan man had been married by, was it an American man? Yeah. So the men and men are marrying, women and women are marrying, and this has caused confusion worldwide and even to us here. Because we never envisaged a situation where a man will marry a man, a woman will marry a woman, they'll have a relationship, the man-woman relationship, people of the same sex, but it is happening. This one has given us problems of adjusting. There was a time when America and other countries had put structure that if you don't accept this type of relationship, you'll not be given aid. They had problems with other countries. There are some where the law entered through the back door. It has never gone through parliament, but you find that freedom of association. So it's like it's accepted, it's not accepted at the same time. That one has been a problem to many countries in the world. Some have adjusted to it. But it's giving us a problem in defining the society norms and roles. Because, for instance, now, in a female relationship, there is a man and there's a woman. Of the two women, this one may have an advantage of if now the wife wants to have a child, she may engage with the man and get a child. But then the problem will arise here. One woman is a husband and the other woman is the wife. If this child is brought or adopted into this family, how do they interact? Because later they will also meet the family of a man and a man. These ones can't give birth, so they adapt. But one man is a husband, is the father, and one man is the mother. And then there is these families that we have common. A father is a man, a mother is a woman. How are these children from three families in school able to reconcile? How shall we teach mother? How shall we teach father? Because it's already something that is happening. It is in the world. We cannot run away from it. Let's not pretend that it will go away. It's there, and it appears like it's there to stay. So we have to learn on how we shall redefine. Because there was a time when the former American leadership, before this one of Trump came in, there was a time when the government had gotten in and people were now being introduced and they were thanking the people who had been of great assistance to them. So there was a man. To Africans, to us, it's not common. So it also took us by surprise. So he was excited and he got up and he said, yes, I would like to thank my husband because he has been, and yes, we knew when we are excited, there are times even when wives call their husbands wives and the wife's excitement brings that. But was surprised, a man by the side, that is my husband. And it was a man. It took us a while to digest, but that is the world. That's where we are. So this is just part of the problem. Another problem has also arisen. This one is in America, is in Europe, Africa is rare. Not heard of one in Kenya. I don't know, they may be, but I have not heard. Because in Africa, some things, when they are done, they are supposed to be very secret. Will not be able to be acceptable to people. So in America, there are men who have felt like physically they were men. They are born men. They have been up to beards. But their psychology, they feel they are supposed to be women. So I understand in America it's not legal, but in some Asian countries it's legal. He goes, he gets the cat, he comes back a woman. A woman, marriageable. And he lives as a woman. He grew up as a man. You knew him as a man. And now he has been given, what do you call it? Estrogen and whatever. He has breasts. Because when you give the hormones, the breasts develop. The other places have been worked on. And is a real woman. Real. There have been also women who have felt that they want to be men. And they have gone through the operation. There was a time I used to watch, there used to come a program when we had one TV station before stations developed, Tyra Banks something. And there was a case where the children were complaining. 3 children, they have grown. Then the mother divorces the father. The mother goes and gets an operation. She becomes a man. And now she marries. So the children did not know what to call her. Do they call her father because she's their mother? But here she's a husband and married. And now if it's a father who has gotten the cat, because that one I didn't hear of it. I've not heard of that one. Now, this was your father. And he's now married to a man. Do you call him mother? Do you call him father? Because he was father when he was with you. When he went and got the cat and everything, he's now somebody's wife. That has been a problem. But it is getting into the society. We cannot run away from changes, they are coming. So the society, the world society has to get together and learn to see how we shall coexist together, because we have to coexist. This is our earth. With that situation. Another problem has been with surrogate mothers. Because when a woman conceives, even if it was from a donor egg, and a donor, you know, the fertilization and the ova are from a couple. But the woman cannot carry a pregnancy. So this child is put into another woman who may be paid. But there is that attachment because the child develops like she was developing. In fact, the attachment of the mother and child is there until birth. It leaves the woman who has given birth traumatized because she feels like she's being robbed of her child. There has been also a case in South Africa where a mother had a daughter and the daughter got married and she was functioning normally, but she could not carry a pregnancy. So the mother went, and you know, when they are giving fertilization drugs, one is able to produce many ova. Then they fertilize the embryos and then the ova, and then now injected the mother of the wife. That is the mother-in-law to this husband, with the embryo developing, and they developed. And she gave birth to 3 children. Now, the mother, the grandmother, has given birth to them. The fertilization was between the father and their mother. How will these children call in this relationship? Because physically the grandmother brought them, carried the pregnancy, and gave birth to them. Will they call her grandmother? Will they call her mother? And now, in the African society, I don't know, okay, they did not have, the mother-in-law and the man did not have a physical relationship. But if it's the African society, it will be assumed that that has transpired. So now, who will be the wife? Is it the lady you have married, or her mother who has given birth to your children? And now, who are you in this case? Are you a father? Are you a grandfather? This is the quagmire we are in. Whether we like it or not, we have to face these facts. They're happening all over the world, just like the gender issue started. And they are coming to us. There are these people of mixed gender organs. We have to accept them. But there it has been easy because it goes with what has developed more than the other, or where does one feel comfortable fitting. That one, I think, has been solved in most places. But this one now of, you are the father, and your mother-in-law did whatever, carried the pregnancy. Are you now the grandfather to these children, or are you the father? So these are things that are there, and they are problematic, but we have to accept because they are there. We have to find ways that we shall describe them. The gender thing has to be looked at afresh. The naming of a father, mother, whatever, has to be looked at afresh. But then the children are going to have many big problems because here they have a father who is a woman, and here they have a mother who is a man, and here they have a father who is a man and a mother who is a woman in the same class. Teachers, what shall we teach? Who is a mother? Who is a father? Who is a grandfather? Who is a grandmother? Who is a husband? Who is a wife? It's happening in the rest of the countries. I hear in places like Europe, in fact, same-sex marriages, if you want to marry another woman, you will go to church and they'll marry you. If you want to marry another woman, you will go to church and they'll marry you. Legal marriage with everything. The children are accepted, will adopt a child, the two women, and you have one is the father and the other woman is the mother. But then, now when it comes to even teaching in class, interacting in the society, we have to come up with a format where we shall be talking from the same, reading from the same script, because it's confusing in school, it's confusing in the social norms. It is confusing. It is there. The world has to come together and find new vocabularies, new descriptions, and all that, because it's there with us, and it appears it's there with us to stay. Brace for these hard times. Let's pray to God we get a solution. That's my take for now.